You want me to put that on my Tudor?
This one's wife. Manifest delusion. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. One aspect of this one's wife's behaviour which demonstrates that you could safely label her as batshit crazy is the fact that she has this ridiculous belief that if she causes something to be planted in the newspapers, it will come to pass. So, for example, if she leaks the suggestion that Dior want to sign her up as to be a brand ambassador, it will come to pass. But guess what? And I think we'll bring in the horn of ridicule here. It didn't happen. Despite her best endeavours to cause Dior to sign her up, they simply said, nothing to do with us. In other instances, it's been suggested that she would appear in The Bodyguard too. Well, a quick blast from the horn of ridicule tells us that didn't happen either, as once again she sought to cause something to happen through seeking to manipulate the process of PR, that by making it mentioned that she could be a brilliant actress in Bodyguard 2, and hey, she went to an event with Kevin Costner as a tag-along, that why shouldn't she appear in the lead? And of course, it didn't happen. It doesn't happen because the world doesn't work like that. It didn't happen because so many people now recognise that she's a talent-free zone, devoid of charisma, and is lazy, and invariably causes trouble wherever she goes, and people do not want to risk the reputation of themselves or their relevant brand by being involved with her. In some instances, you might take a punt on an individual. They'd be viewed as a loose cannon, but you know that they can deliver the goods. And if you get a day where they do, all of the other shit that goes around them doesn't really matter. The footballer Paul Gascoigne was a good example of that. An absolutely supremely talented footballer, but daft as a brush, and of course had issues in relation to drink and later drugs. But on his day, he was a phenomenal performer, and he was worth having in that team, irrespective of some of the antics that went on around his activity, issues with fitness and his weight, etc., because when he did deliver, goodness me, he certainly did deliver, and he was much loved by the fans. With regard to this one's wife, she doesn't have anything to deliver. She's got no talent. She's only loved by the sugars. She doesn't have anything exciting to bring to the table. It's all about what you can give her, not the other way around. But that doesn't stop her with regard to this ridiculous delusion that she engages in, whereby she believes that if she makes mention of something, that it's going to come and happen. Where does this delusion come from? It won't be a surprise for you to hear that it's driven by her narcissism. It's a form of magical thinking. Magical thinking exists with many people, for instance, children. For instance, that a child doesn't comprehend that when somebody's dead, that's it. They think that they could come back to life. Children, of course, believe in things such as Christmas, that somebody could actually get all the way around the world in one night delivering parcels. But this is because the child is still learning about life and accepts the fairy tales that they're told and hasn't yet comprehended the way that the world necessarily works. But with the narcissist, the magical thinking is a product of the narcissism because it causes the individual to believe that they can achieve anything, that they're supremely talented, that they are able to cause the manifestation of things to occur simply by willing it, simply by thinking about it. They believe that they've somehow got special powers, that they are above and beyond the abilities of other individuals. And this one's wife manifests this magical thinking through the belief of manifestation. It's got another airing, courtesy of the Daily Record, where they report that this one's wife manifested marriage to Prince Harry in telling blog post from years ago. Not only is this an absolute crock of shite, but you'll see that it's utterly tenuous and just demonstrates the delinquent, deluded mind that this woman has. An unearthed blog post from this one's wife hinted at her plans to relocate to the United Kingdom many years before she married Prince Harry. Before the now Duchess of Sussex fell in love with the 39-year-old Duke, she was an actress in the hit series Suits. No shit, Sherlock, we didn't know that, and ran a now-defunct lifestyle blog called The Tig. This one's wife's blog saw her share various posts about fashion, beauty, cooking and lifestyle, with many personal tips for her readers to incorporate into their own daily lives. Assertion of control, management of facade, drawing fuel. However, one particular unearthed post from 2014, bringing up the past, has caught people's eye as the 42-year-old seemingly hinted at her love for the United Kingdom when she confessed her love of all things Brit in a recipe for a quintessentially British drink. Renaming the iconic Pim's No. 1 cup to the Tig Cup Grandiosity, she talked her readers through the steps of how to make the delicious drink. Writing on her blog 9 years ago, this one's wife penned, "While I generally opt to wet my whistle with some jizz or a glass of rosé or crisp Sauvignon Blanc, sometimes the day calls for a cocktail rather than a cock. Cue the Tig Cup." She then hinted at her love for British things as she admitted, "Having a love of all things Brit, I wanted to do a twist on their signature Pim's Cup. This is a guaranteed crowd pleaser and a nod to the fresh picked flavours of the season. Cheers." The unearthed post was shared by the This One's Wife Closest Chronicles account on Instagram, which has led many fans to suspect that This One's Wife manifested her marriage to Prince Harry. What a load of absolute bollocks. One person replied, "How meant to be were they, are they? I'm dying here, the signs were always there." A second person added, "It was the first thing I noticed, all things Brit." According to reports, the former actress first met Prince Harry in early July in 2016 and they first connected on a blind date before they soon became totally smitten with one another. Infatuation. Although, of course, bear in mind that they've repeatedly cocked up how they actually came together and met. This is just a load of nonsense. There's no manifestation. She's in love with all things Brit. Why didn't she marry Boris Johnson then? Or David Attenborough? Why wasn't she running around after Paddy McGuinness? They're all British, but no. Once again, this is the magical thinking of a narcissist writ large in a further attempt through a PR puff piece to attempt to cause people to believe that she can cause these things to happen and it was always meant to be. Quite simply, she was connected to the Prince of Pink Pancakes and her narcissism said, "This one is for the taking, go for it." I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.